Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint. So, if you're here with us today, you're probably thinking about, different ways to make those retirement savings a little bit safer. And sometimes, sometimes stocks and bonds just don't cut it. So that's why we're talking about gold IRAs.
Yeah, gold is something that, people have been turning to for centuries. It always seems to hold its value, whether it's good times or bad times.
Exactly. And that's why today we're going to take this deep dive into the Gold IRA Blueprint's new rankings. These are the rankings for the best gold IRA companies in Idaho. Now, even if you don't live in Idaho, stick with us because the things that they looked at in these rankings are going to matter no matter where you live. We're going to talk about, the company's reputation, what about their fees, customer service, the whole nine yards. And hey, if you want a really easy checklist to help you compare these companies, head over to goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's totally free.
It's like a cheat sheet for
Yeah,
your retirement.
exactly. Now, one thing that really caught my eye in these rankings was Augusta Precious Metals. They're actually paying their customers fees for up to 10 years. I mean, that's pretty amazing. It just goes to show you that you really got to do your research and find the company that's right for you.
Yeah, you can't just look at, one thing, like what the fees are up front. You got to look at the whole picture.
Okay, so let's break down what you should be looking for when you're trying to choose a gold IRA company. First things first, reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. You want a company that has a really solid track record. You know, what are other customers saying about them? And what are the industry analysts saying?
Yeah, it's like choosing a surgeon,
Yeah.
right? You want someone who's got experience.
Exactly. And then you also want to think about, what types of metals do they offer? Gold is obviously the big one, but you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
So you're saying it's good to have a mix of precious metals. Why is that so important?
Well, each metal reacts a little bit differently to what's happening in the economy. Platinum is often tied to industrial demand. And then you've got silver that's used in a lot of technology. So having those in your portfolio along with gold can maybe make things a little bit smoother when the markets are, bouncing around.
Good, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about fees and storage costs? Those can really eat into your returns over time.
Yeah, and that's why you've got to look for a company that's really transparent about their fees. Don't be afraid to ask questions like, how much are their storage fees? What about annual fees just to maintain the account? And how much do they charge when you buy or sell your metals?
It's your money.
Yeah.
You have the right to know where it's going. And speaking of selling those metals, what about the buyback policies?
Yeah, you're going to want to look for a company that offers a fair price when you're ready to sell. Some companies will even match the price, if you can find a better offer somewhere else.
Okay, that's good to know. And finally, let's talk about customer service. I want to feel like I'm in good hands when I'm dealing with something this important.
Yeah, for sure. You want a team that's responsive, they should be knowledgeable and be able to walk you through the process, especially if you're new to gold IRAs.
So it sounds like we've got a lot to consider here. Reputation, diversification fees, buyback policies, customer service. It's like a whole checklist. And don't forget, we do have that free checklist for you at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. Now let's dive into some of these companies that really stood out in the rankings, starting with the top dog, Augusta Precious Metals.
So Augusta Precious Metals, they've got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, the Better Business Bureau is all about ethical business practices and making sure customers are happy. So that's a good sign. What else makes them stand out?
Well, remember how we were talking about fees? Augusta often pays their customers fees for up to 10 years.
That's huge, especially for people who are worried about those fees cutting into their returns.
Exactly. And they're also really big on educating their customers. Their team really takes the time to answer questions and make sure you feel good about your investment.
I like that they're not just trying to make a quick sale. So what about their selection of metals?
They've got all gold, silver, platinum, palladium, so you've got plenty of choices to build a really nice precious metals portfolio.
Okay, so Augusta Precious Metals. Seems like they're doing a lot of things right. Strong reputation, transparent fees, great customer service, and a wide selection of metals. Let's keep digging and see what else we can uncover. So we've been talking about Augusta Precious Metals and all the good stuff they've got going on, but let's take a step back for a sec and talk about why someone would even want a gold IRA in the first place.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of the big reasons people turn to gold, especially when they're thinking about retirement, is because it's been a good hedge against inflation.
Right, inflation. That's the thing that makes your money worth less over time.
Yeah.
Suddenly you can't buy as much with the money you work so hard for.
Exactly. And gold tends to hold its value even when prices on everything else are going up. It's like a safety net. That helps you keep up your purchasing power. There's a reason why gold has been seen as a store of value for, thousands of years.
So it's kind of like insurance against things going haywire in the economy.
Yeah, exactly. And that peace of mind is really important when you're retired and you're living on a fixed income.
Okay, that makes sense. But gold doesn't pay dividends or interest like some other investments. So how does it actually help your savings grow?
Well, it's true that gold doesn't generate income in the traditional way. It's more about supply and demand. When more people want gold, the price goes up. And historically, when the economy or the political situation is a bit shaky, the demand for gold tends to go up.
So it's more about protecting your wealth than actively growing it.
It's both, actually. Gold might not do as well as a high-growth stock in a really booming economy, but it can help you avoid big losses when the economy takes a downturn. It's all about balancing the risk and the reward.
So finding the right mix for your own situation. And speaking of mix, we were talking about diversification earlier.
Right.
How does having other precious metals in your portfolio help with that?
Well, remember how we were saying each metal kind of reacts differently to what's going on in the economy?
Yeah.
That's where diversification is really powerful.
Okay, so give me an example.
So let's say industrial production is booming all over the world. Platinum is used in a lot of industrial stuff, so the price of platinum might jump up, but at the same time, gold might be holding steady. So having both of those in your portfolio could give you a nice little boost during that time.
It's like having a team with different players, each with their own strengths.
Exactly. And some companies like Augusta Precious Metals, they get that. They offer a good selection of gold, silver, platinum, and palladium for their gold IRA clients.
Good to know. Now, what about those storage costs? Where is all this gold actually kept?
Yeah, that's an important question. You don't want to be stuffing gold bars under your mattress, right? Good gold IRA companies, they partner with special depositories. These are places that are specifically designed to keep precious metals safe.
Like Fort Knox level security.
Pretty much. Multiple layers of security, 24/7 monitoring, and they've got insurance to protect your investment. And you can choose a depository that you feel most comfortable with.
Okay, that puts my mind at ease. So it sounds like setting up a gold IRA is a pretty involved process.
It is, but that's why it's so important to do your research and find a company that you really trust. Look for transparency expertise and good customer service. A good company will walk you through the whole thing and answer all your questions.
All right, so we've been talking about Augusta Precious Metals, but what about some of the other top-rated companies on that gold IRA blueprint list?
Yeah, definitely. Birch Gold Group is another one that stands out. They're known for having a really clear fee structure and great customer support. They've been around for a while, so they have a good reputation in the industry.
So experience is on their side.
Yeah.
Anything else about Birch Gold Group?
One thing that sets them apart is how much they focus on educating their customers. They've got tons of resources on their website, and their team is known for being patient and helpful, especially with people who are brand new to gold IRAs. They want their clients to feel confident and knowledgeable about their investments.
So Birch Gold Group, good reputation, clear fees, and a big focus on education.
They also offer really secure storage options and a smooth process for when you want to sell your metals back. Both of those are super important when you're choosing a gold IRA company.
You're right, we talk about how crucial those things are. Now, are there any other companies worth looking into?
For sure. American Hartford Gold is another one to keep in mind. They're known for being really accessible. No minimum purchase requirements or account minimums. So it's a good choice for people who are just starting out or maybe don't have a ton of money to invest.
So they're making it easier for more people to invest in precious metals.
I like that. Yeah. And they're highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they have a good track record when it comes to customer satisfaction. Plus, they offer all sorts of ways to get in touch with their customer service team. Whether you prefer phone, email, or online chat, they've got you covered.
So American Hartford Gold is another company with a lot going for it. Easy to get started, good customer service, and strong ratings. This is why it's so helpful to have a checklist.
It really is. And don't forget, you can get that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It will help you keep track of all this stuff as you're comparing different companies.
That's a great resource. All right, we've got a couple more companies to talk about, so let's keep this rolling. Okay, so we've been talking about some great gold IRA companies. You know, Augusta, Precious Metals, Birch Gold Group, American Hartford Gold. They all sound pretty good. But before we wrap things up, are there any other companies that we should mention?
Yeah, there are a couple more that are definitely worth a look. Let's talk about Noble Gold. They're known for being really flexible.
Okay, flexibility is always a good thing, especially when you're dealing with retirement savings. So what makes Noble Gold so flexible?
Well, one of their specialties is rollovers. They make it super easy to move money from your existing retirement accounts into a gold IRA. So if you have like a traditional IRA or a 401k and you want to add some precious metals to the mix, they can handle that whole process for you.
That's great because sometimes those rollovers can be a real pain. What else sets Noble Gold apart?
They've also got a really transparent fee structure, customer direct pricing, and a flat rate fee system. So you know exactly what you're paying, no hidden costs.
I like that transparency is so important when it comes to your retirement money.
Mhm.
Okay, so Noble Gold, flexible rollovers, transparent fees. Got it. Any other companies on our list?
Last but not least, we have Advantage Gold. They get really high marks for customer satisfaction.
Happy customers, that's always a good sign. What's their secret?
They really put the client first. Their team is super responsive and helpful, and they really make sure you understand everything that's going on.
It sounds like they're all about building those good relationships.
Yeah, they are. And they also partner with some really reputable IRA providers, which is a good sign. Plus, they've got a range of options when it comes to account balances, so there's something for everyone.
Okay, so Advantage Gold, great customer service, solid partnerships, and flexible options. We've covered a lot of ground today. It seems like there are a lot of great companies out there that can help you set up a gold IRA.
There are. And as you're doing your research and comparing different companies, there are a few things to keep in mind. First of all, not all gold is the same.
Right. We talked about that earlier. What do people need to know about choosing the right kind of gold for their IRA?
Well, the IRS has rules about how pure the gold has to be. Usually you're looking at gold bars or coins that are at least 99.5% pure.
So it's got to be the real deal.
Exactly. And there are some gold coins that are really popular for IRAs, like the American Gold Eagle, the Canadian Gold Maple Leaf, the South African Krugerrand. Your gold IRA company can help you figure out which ones are best for you.
Okay, so purity is important. What are bars versus kinds?
Yeah, that's another thing to think about. Gold bars are usually cheaper per ounce because you're not paying extra for the design and the minting of the coins. But they can be harder to sell if you only want to sell a small amount.
So bars are more for the long-term investor.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Coins give you more flexibility because you can buy and sell smaller amounts, which can be handy if you need to adjust your portfolio or if you need to access your money quickly.
Okay, that makes sense. So once you've picked out your gold, where does it actually go?
That's where those special depositories come in. You know, the ones we talked about earlier. Your gold IRA company will work with the depository to store your metals safely. These places are like Fort Knox, super high security. Armed guards, surveillance systems, really strict access control.
So your gold is definitely in good hands.
Yep. And it's important to make sure the depository is insured just in case anything happens.
Okay, so security and insurance are must-haves. Anything else about storage?
Just make sure you ask your gold IRA company about their storage fees and any other costs. Some companies charge a flat fee, while others charge based on how much your gold is worth.
Right. Those fees can add up, so it's definitely something to consider. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. Choosing the right company, different types of gold secure storage. It seems like setting up a gold IRA is a big decision.
It is. But it's an investment in your future, and it can really pay off. Having some of your retirement savings in precious metals can help you diversify, protect yourself from inflation, and give you some peace of mind.
I like that. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. A good gold IRA company can guide you through the whole process. They can answer your questions, help you choose the right investments, and make sure your gold is safe and sound.
And to help you get started, don't forget to grab that free checklist we mentioned. It's at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's a really useful tool to help you compare different companies and make the best decision for you.
It's like having your own personal gold IRA assistant. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of gold IRAs, and we hope it helps you as you plan for a secure and comfortable retirement.
It's been great talking with you.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances. So keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep aiming for that golden future.